Welcome to Fearsome Top 5. Today we'll be taking a look at 8 scary videos that'll make your skin crawl. Number 1. The Paris Catacombs are an extensive network of eerie tunnels beneath the city. By the late 1700s, Paris faced a public health crisis due to overflowing cemeteries which were causing disease and foul odors. To address this issue, the French government began relocating human remains from the crowded cemeteries to the abandoned tunnels. Now full from floor to ceiling with skulls and bones, these tunnels have an unnerving atmosphere and endless tales of hauntings. A Reddit user that goes by Big Man Cali Smoker was using Google Earth when he discovered that it allowed him to explore the Paris catacombs virtually. He made his way through the endless tunnels when he accidentally stumbled upon this. In the depths of the tunnels, a shadowy, translucent form can be seen. This ominous figure looks to have a human shape, and from the motion blur, appears to have been walking. Although it's very clear that something was moving within the tunnels, this definitely does not look like a living person. No signs of a face are visible, but what looks like 2 legs and an arm can clearly be seen. So could this unsettling apparition be a paranormal entity accidentally captured by Google's camera? Number 2. A TikTok user named Cat sometimes experiences a chilling sensation, as if an unseen presence is lurking nearby while she's alone in her room. Her hair starts to stand on end, and a cold, heavy pit settles in her stomach, yet when she scans the room, it remains eerily empty. Despite this unsettling feeling, Kat has never actually seen anything paranormal. Well, that was until recently when her security camera caught this. A ghostly mist suddenly appeared and slowly drifted through the yard. This cloudy anomaly hovered through the grass before quickly vanishing into thin air. This strange mist resembles a ghostly silhouette, and Kat replayed the video repeatedly, struggling to decipher what this could be. She insists that nothing around her home could randomly produce smoke in the middle of her yard. So what might this phenomenon actually be? Number 3. Reddit user Admirable Wealth 253 posted a video to the Paranormal Encounters subreddit of footage captured in a daycare located in New York. According to this Reddit user, several kids would complain of seeing a mean man inside the playroom. These chilling words haunted the staff as they had no idea who the kids were talking about. And on multiple occasions when one of the cleaners would go to the basement, she would stumble across toys now eerily rearranged in a circle. This unsettling sight would often scare her to tears as she ran upstairs. Well, one day, with new security cameras rolling inside, a terrifying sequence of events was captured. In the pitch-black playroom, a toy seesaw mysteriously rocked back and forth. And as this movement suddenly stopped, a ball began rolling across the floor. Then, almost as if the entity causing this activity was moving around the room, the basket on the table got pushed to the floor. The employees were left in shock when they reviewed this footage, and they began to wonder if this activity was caused by the mean man the kids were complaining about. Number 4. On the One Investigator 1107 Reddit account, a video was posted to the Ghost subreddit that they're hoping to find an explanation for. One night around 9 p.m., this Reddit user came downstairs to grab something to drink. At the time, her husband was asleep in bed and their dog was curled up on the couch, meaning she was the only one awake in the entire house. But while she was in the kitchen, she heard something that sent her hurrying back upstairs. As she poured herself a glass of tea, a ghostly whisper can be heard calling out. I'm not positive if she heard this at the time, although she does appear to pause and turn around. And as she opened the cabinet, another chilling voice called out. She definitely heard this voice as she quickly looked to the right, expecting to see someone speaking. I can't quite make out what these voices are saying, so if you have any guesses, please let me know. According to this user, after hearing this voice, she did her best to remain calm and not allow this ghost to see her run away. Meanwhile, I would have Usain Bolted my way out of that damn house. Number 5. A building known as Anglefield Hall was constructed in 1880, with its original purpose being a coffee shop tavern. By 1910, it transformed into a temperance hotel. Then by the 1940s, it temporarily became a makeshift school. Over the years, visitors and workers have claimed they've seen shadow figures, heard voices, and even seen the apparition of a small child. Paranormal investigators Jeff, Phil, and Mark from the Ghost Tech Paranormal YouTube channel set their sights on this location. And before the investigation even had a chance to start, things took an eerie turn.
We lock down the building, and Phil and I start to set up the equipment for the investigation. Whilst Phil is upstairs, I am down in the main hall when I hear loud noises come from nearby.
Phil? Was that you? Phil?
Strange sounds of movement came from somewhere in the main hall, giving Jeff his first hint of what was to come later that night. With several static cameras scattered throughout the building, along with multiple devices that are motion activated, Jeff and Phil were ready to begin the investigation.
So you see this red light on this device in my hand? This is a recorder. And if you speak into the red light, it will pick up your voice. And then we can play it back and listen to what you have to say. So can you speak into this red light, please? Can you make another noise for us, please? An EVP of a child's voice is received saying, "Mummy." Here is the audio enhanced.
The eerie, chilling whisper of a ghostly child's voice crackling through the digital recorder. It was now painfully clear that the guys were not alone in the darkness. As they exited the main hall, they were met once again with unsettling ghostly sounds coming from the shadows.
We leave the main hall area and go down a narrow hallway, and as I reach the end, I hear a man's voice, but it is not captured on my digital audio. Hold on, Phil. Someone was speaking. As I got just down there, I could hear someone speaking. I would say it was a man's voice. As I got here, it was like a man whispering. I don't know if it was for me or if it. That was from upstairs. And that was loud. It was like a man whispering. I don't know if it was for me or if it.
Now on high alert, the guys cautiously made their way to another part of the building. And as they did, something was caught on the static camera upstairs.
Whilst Phil and I are on the ground floor, the door to room 3 opens and closes by itself. Inside room 3, our static cam is pointing in the direction of the small cupboard where a young child is believed to hide, and the door is out of frame, but we can rule out any natural causes for what has taken place. The building's windows are all closed and are completely double glazed. The curtains in this room are pulled across so there is no wind or air moving within the room. Also, if it was an air draft, these bells on the string in the middle of the room would move or start to swing, but as you can see, they are completely still.
Something or someone clearly opened and closed the door upstairs. So Jeff and Phil made their way to that room to conduct an EVP session, and while asking questions, something downright hair-raising was caught.
We've got this device here. It's called a K2 meter. It's got audio on it, so we will hear it. Alarm. If you touch it, we'll go anywhere near it. And also, we have a very sensitive digital recorder that will pick up your voice.
Whoa,
If you're speaking to that red light,
that was a voice.
just going to put that down there. And also, we have a very sensitive digital recorder that will pick up your voice.
Whoa,
That will pick up your voice.
whoa.
The voice hidden within the static on the digital recorder was undoubtedly an intelligent response. And with all this paranormal evidence beginning to stack up, it was only a matter of time before the entity itself was caught. And with a static camera rolling in the main hall, that's exactly what happened.
Whilst Phil and I were on the upper floors taking full spectrum photographs to try and gather more evidence, our static cam in the main hall captures a shadow figure moving down the far corridor. Here is the footage, followed by the film with enhancements and in slow motion.
A faint shadow figure suddenly appeared and walked across the open door. This dim silhouette manifested out of nowhere before quickly moving out of view. Its outline against the light wall is hard to dispute, as a head, torso, and legs can clearly be seen. This incredible piece of footage is more than enough evidence for me to know that I will never be stepping foot in Englefield Hall. Number 6. A Reddit user that goes by Cloudy Days lives with her family of 5 in a new townhouse. But according to Cloudy, while they previously lived in an apartment, she would often wake up in the dead of night to find a shadowy presence lurking in the room, filling her with an overwhelming sense of dread. She was never quite sure if she was still partially dreaming or seeing something from the other side. These spine-chilling encounters stopped completely as soon as they moved, until recently when she spotted this. As she laid in bed, she caught a glimpse of something dark peeking from around the corner. This strange dark shape looks like the top of someone's head trying to look at her. It slowly came into view before quickly ducking back behind the wall. Cloudy claims this anomaly was eerily similar to what she used to see in her old apartment. But what could this possibly be? Number 7. On February 5th at 9:40 in the morning, a TikTok user named Mildred woke up to find her dog sleeping at the foot of her bed. Thinking this was cute, she decided to record a quick video with her phone. But it wasn't until she later rewatched this video that she noticed something that made her stomach drop. You probably didn't catch that, so let's take a closer look. On the floor at the foot of the bed looks to be an eerie, ghostly face. This pale face can be seen for a split second, but as the camera panned away then came back, this face had vanished. Mildred couldn't believe what she was seeing as she replayed the video, staring at what appears to be a woman's head on the floor. According to this TikTok user, there was no one else in the room besides her sister, who was asleep next to her in bed. I'm not quite sure what to call this, but it's definitely giving me the creeps. And if this thing ever shows up in my room, I won't hesitate to kick it out the window. Number 8. A Reddit user named Marco recently moved into a small wooden house in a remote village in northern Italy. After living in a city for most of his life, he was looking forward to the peace and quiet. The first few weeks living in his new home were exactly what he imagined, but this soon changed when he began to hear strange noises coming from the attic at night. According to Marco, he would hear the unnerving sound of creaking floorboards, thumping, and occasionally the sound of something being dragged across the floor. He started recording on his phone whenever this activity would begin, and after some time, he managed to catch this. scanned the ceiling as the sound of something moving was directly above him. While listening to these noises, he eventually built up the courage to take a look inside the attic. No one could be seen in the small dark space, and as he stood with his phone in hand, the sound of hangers moving came from behind him. He whipped his head around, and when he did, the chair in front of him got knocked to the side. This sudden movement was enough to send him frantically climbing back down the ladder. And according to Marco, ever since this incident, he's been staying with a friend, as he's just too frightened to step foot back inside of that house. Make sure to follow me on Instagram to hear more from your boy. As always, if you enjoy these creepy videos, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this.